Welcome to Real World AIP. I'm Stacy and today I want to talk about things you can eat if you're sick of sweet potatoes. My favorite is, this is called YAUTIA root. YAUTIA, Y-A-U-T-I-A, Blanca. You want to get the Blanca, not the Lila or the other one because it tastes dirty. It just has a taste. I mean, it's an acquired taste. I can eat it and it's okay, but I don't love it. But the YAUTIA Blanca, and these are often mislabeled. I've seen them called malanga, but then you'll also see other root vegetables called malanga. You can't go wrong if it says YAUTIA Blanca. This has unique textural properties that make it like awesome. Like you can just shred this and add it to ground meat and bake it, and it's the perfect meatloaf binder. It does what regular sweet potato can't do it, white sweet potato can't do it, plantain can't do it. I've tried it with breadfruit, I've tried it with taro root. This just has the right texture to make a meatloaf binder. You can also, this makes the perfect potato salad. Not the same you try to do it with white sweet potato or any other root vegetable, but you boil this, you let it cool, and you add your whatever, avocado, mayonnaise, eggless mayonnaise, you know, you just want to do olive oil, German potato salad, add some bacon. This will hold its shape and it won't affect the flavor, and it's just amazing. I wouldn't mash these. I don't like these mashed. They get a weird gelatinous texture, but so what? We can mash sweet potatoes and white sweet potatoes and all that other stuff. This also makes delicious bars. You could just shred it, add a little coconut milk, applesauce or something, bake it, makes delicious bars. But I'd say where it really shines, because you know, like it can do all the things all the other root vegetables can do, but where this really shines is as a meatloaf binder. And I used to make, when I was on super strict AIP with no reintros, I would make meat bars with my YAUTIA Blanca, ground beef, savory seasonings. You can put fresh sage and make it like taste like a sausage. So bars, meatloaves, and yeah, like potato salads. Just boil it and eat it. It's delicious. It's also super digestible. Love it. This baby, this is called Taro Root. They make poi out of this in Hawaii, but that's like a fermented tangy thing, so it's not the same as just buying this fresh and making it at home. This goes also by a lot of crazy names. This one they call Malanga. It says right here Malanga-coco, but then other sources will call the YAUTIA Blanca Malanga. Everything's Malanga. So this is also known as Coco-yam, but more frequently known as Taro Root. Anyway, you can't mistake it. I mean, it's this big root. It's actually technically a corm. And now this has a delicious, sweet, nutty flavor. This makes excellent mashed potatoes, like amazing mashed potatoes. I'd say if you're looking for where this shines, that's it. But it also makes like hash brown / like taco shell crispy. If you shred this, you shred it and you add coconut oil and you bake it, and it just makes these crisps. You can make, you know, like I said, taco shells. You can make flatbreads. The other thing with this is, and also this and the YAUTIA Blanca, if you don't want to make it that day, it doesn't stay good on the counter for very long, but if you peel it, chop it into squares, and then put it in a bowl of water, you can sit it in the fridge for 3, 4, 5 days until you're ready to prep it. So you don't want to leave it sitting around like this, but just peel it, chop it, soak it in water. The other thing with this is this makes the most awesome thickener. So basically, if you're making those like taco shells, flatbreads, crispy, hash brown crisps, whatever with it, so you shredded it, right? You can put it in a nut milk bag. They sell these fine mesh bags. You can use cheesecloth, and you squeeze the juice out of the shredded taro root, and I'll freeze that in cubes. That is the most amazing thickener ever. If you want to make like gravy, or you want to make like a thickened soup, or like meatballs, and you just want like a thick sauce, nothing works as good. Not arrowroot, not anything as a frozen cube of taro juice. So if you're shredding it for any reason, try to squeeze a little bit of that liquid out and freeze it in a cube. You'll be glad you did. Also, I made flour out of this. I boiled it. I had a bunch of boiled taro root in the fridge, and I took some and I dehydrated it in my dehydrator, and then I ground it in my little coffee grinder that I use for everything but coffee. And I keep it in the freezer just so it'll never go bad or get moldy or whatever. I'm weird about that. and I use it to bread fish, and it is out of this world amazingly good. It's just got this nutty flavor. You have to try it to even understand. So, I mean, I'd say mash this. Oh, goodness, you can make hamburger buns with this. You know how they make sweet potato toast now? See how this is the perfect shape for a burger? It's the perfect shape. You slice it thin and you toast it in the, oven, toaster. If you do it in the toaster, you're gonna have to go a few rounds. You want it cooked through. You do not want to eat this stuff raw. Burger bun. I mean, this is freaking versatile. Batatas. Now, you all know what this is. It's a freaking white sweet potato, also called boniato. This says Boniato batata. I find a great deal on these at the markets, the Latin markets have these, and they call them batatas, which means potatoes, but this is a sweet potato. It's a boniato, or Japanese sweet potato. How many names for this one thing can there be? These are great. You can mash them. These make great wasabi mashed potatoes. You can also shred them and bake them, and they make the most amazing bars. You can't do it with a regular sweet potato. They have too much moisture. The texture is not right. These things, I'm going to show you how to do it too. In another video, I'm gonna go over how to do that. But batata bars are delicious. My favorite would probably be the ginger pear, or maybe the lemon blueberry. I can't decide. Batatas make great bars, but if you don't want to go that far, you can make it just like you would make a sweet potato. Boil it, mash it, fry it, hash browns. Next, and you all know this one too, this is a plantain. These are good form of resistant starch. I personally don't get the ripe yellow plantains for a couple reasons. One, I have a histamine intolerance, and they're higher in histamine. But two, they also higher in like sugar, and I prefer the more starchier, savory green plantain to the sweet plantain. I mean, and those are great. You can slice it, squash it, fry it, yum. But the one issue that people have with them is that they're a pain in the butt to get out of the skin, but you don't have to take it out of the skin. You can pressure cook this right in the skin. You can slice this in thirds with the skin on, and I'm going to show you how I do that too in another video, and I'll link to all those. And you can actually make, pizza crusts out of plantain. I'm sure you've all seen the recipes. I'll put a couple of pictures here for you to see. I personally came up with a plantain gnocchi. You take on this one you do have to pry the plantain out of the skin, which is a pain when they're green. They don't want to come out. You might just want to peel it off with a knife or something. And you puree the green plantain with like a little bit of coconut oil and some seasonings, and then you wrap it in. I used banana leaves from the ethnic store, but you can use parchment paper, and then you pressure cook it, and when it comes out, it has this texture of gnocchi. It's crazy, and you can just chop it up into squares and make a coconut alfredo sauce, and woohoo. Or you can also make just rice with this. You cook them, boil them, let it cool is the main step here that you can't forget, and then throw it back in the Ninja and rice it. You got rice. Really versatile. Lots you can do with the plantain. So there you have it. Here's your I'm sick of sweet potato alternatives. I'm sure that you'll find one of these amazing. They bring their own unique qualities to the table, their own unique flavors. They're amazing and versatile. Although I don't put a lot of emphasis on the carbs in my diet, and so I don't make these things often because I don't want to take the time to make them and be tempted to eat extra carbs. But when I do make them and I do have them, it's such a welcome alternative to, sweet potatoes. Just different texture, different flavor, It is nice to have. It's nice to have alternatives and variety. Stay tuned for future videos because I'm going to be going over exactly what I do with these things in the kitchen. And until then, I hope you found the video helpful, and please subscribe so you don't miss the future videos. I post every Thursday, and I'll see you soon, I hope. And until then, be healthy.